Therapy Army. Manchester United 2, 1. But we don't know what happened, people. We don't know what happened. But big up to everybody. Can you hear me, please? Let me know, people, if you can hear me. Big up to everyone here. I can't even bloody see properly. I need to take the glasses off to see properly. Well, that's be having you, people. A bit brisk. So we need to tighten up in the middle of the park. We're easy to cut through, but other than that, brilliant tonight. Yeah, we were. Sometimes they did, and they were wasteful when they cut us through. To be fair, big up to you, Nathan. Big up, Nathan. Yeah, that's good analysis. That at times between Bruno jumping, but smash a like on the video jumping at Uber to get back to the studio. People get back to the studio in the warm. But you can see, happy Merry Christmas and all that, people. The lights are on. The lights are on, people. It's Crimbo. It's Crimbo, people. It's Crimbo. Hey, I hope you're having a good one. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Big up. Yes. Love and light, everybody. Manchester United have won. The bottle job, the cowards turned up tonight. And Easter pressure on Erik ten Hag because he was under a lot of pressure. Yeah, we had 28 shots. Yeah, we will deserve to win that game. Yeah, 28 shots, lads. Somebody give me the match stats. The video's lagging. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, until I get back to the studio, it's gonna be a bit like that. So I'm waiting for Bumbaye to jump on. Hopefully Bumbaye will jump on, or Jarvis or Tom, one of them, to carry the bit of the show. Put McTominay up front. His numbers are better than all our strikers combined. We won't have to watch him in midfield. 100% Man UFC 14. Absolutely brilliant analysis there. On the ball, anywhere else outside the box, Scott McTominay's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. He's got 2 left feet. He's so clumsy. He's falling over himself. But yeah, big up everybody. Yeah, 100%. For the second half performance, yeah, Amrabat was man of the match. But for us to notice our number 6, people, what we have to do is basically we have to work hard and hustle like we've done there. We have to work hard and hustle. You know what I mean? We have to work hard and hustle. So it is what it is. Bumbaye, can you hear me? Are you all right? Big up to you, bro. Jumping on. You all right, Habibi? I hear you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Habibi.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Get a bit low, but listen, I'm going to try to jump on the Uber. You might have to carry the show tonight. You might have to carry the show a little bit. But yeah, I thought United, actually, honestly, my question is I'm a bit confused. It's almost like I need to watch the game again properly. Because I feel like, were we that good or are they that shit? Because that's what it looked like, honestly. It looked like a terrible game. That's what it looked like. It looked like a terrible game on their behalf. So, but yeah, Bumbaye, I'm going to look for Ubers. I'm going to walk down and check the traffic. So you need to just, you need to carry the show a bit. Just try to interact. Because you can't press the comments.
Yeah,
but you can, what you can do is
Therapy Army will hold it down.
Try to see what the people are saying and comment on that. But big up to you, and I want to hear your match analysis as well. Big up. I'm just going to jump out for a bit.
Don't you worry. Therapy Army, let's show Dino that we can carry this show, man. It's you and me. Let's do this. Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, absolutely free Palestine.
You can see him. Can you see him up there, people? Can you see him up there? She's up there. Stay there 1 second. Stay there. Oh, God.
Oh, it's so warm in there.
Can you guys see Webby?
Yes, Webby.
Big up Webby.
The famous better half of
Big up Webby there. Webby's giving it large. Tom and Bumbaye, please carry the show. I need to jump out and try and get in an Uber. But love and light, people. I need to try and get home.
We've got it. We've got it in it, Tom. We've got this.
Yeah, we've got
Me,
it.
you, and
No
the army
worries.
have got this, man. So, well, I was. I didn't watch the full game. I was working and watching at the same time. But so you'll have to fill in the blanks for me. But what I felt and what I saw was what I'd like to see on a weekly basis. I thought we played some really good passages of play. Quick, aggressive, front foot, and considering my opinions on the manager and stuff today, it's a thumbs up from me for everybody. That was the general gist of it. If we play like that, then Eric Ten Hag, it buys him time. Just keep working. But I just hope that wasn't a "we're sorry for last week, lads, and we'll be back next week to the usual shit."
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? So that was my general gist of the game. It felt like everybody had a pretty decent performance. Amrabat seemed to, non-stop from the get-go. Garnacho set the place alight in moments there today. Thought Anthony did well for himself. Hoyland does what Hoyland does, which is put a shift in, hustle and bustle, and Scott Mc. Just big up Arif. He gave me the name Scott McBellingham tonight, boys. So bow down to William Wallace. So have I got it about right, or am I absolutely chatting macca? You fill in the blanks. You watched it all, I take it, from start to finish.
Yeah. I watched the full game. Yeah.
Take it
No.
away then.
Yeah. What you said was spot on. Really, I think for individual, if we individualise the players, it was a much better performance. But the one thing that we saw was it was the team that, when we started anyway, at the start of the game, it was the sort of team that we'd seen start games last season, especially towards the end of last season anyway, with a couple of the additional players.
Okay.
But Shaw playing at left back again, I thought helped from going a forward perspective, because we know that if you stick Delove, he's not as comfortable on the left-hand side as he is the right.
100%.
Defensively, Maguire, solid. Got to give my props to him. The whole game, I thought he was quite good. Yeah, listen, Jackson's a tricky customer, but the problem is he hasn't got a first touch. That's his problem. But especially in the first half, I don't know which half you watched Mumbai anyway, but especially in the first half, that game, it could have gone either way. It was pretty much Galatasaray repeat. End to end, both teams, I don't really give a fuck about, give a crap about actually keeping a clean sheet. It was literally just go for broke.
Yeah.
But the only difference with us is we took 2 clear-cut chances. Irrespective of what they did in the game, they had clear-cut chances, but they just didn't turn up with the shooting boots. The Cole Palmer goal, listen, it was a disgrace, let's be honest. Somebody should have put a foot in, got across. It went through Lindelof's legs, okay, that's fair enough. It happens on a given day. But we played much better football tonight. Much better football. And for once, I will say it for what it is. I think Eric Ten Hag's actually grown a set of bollocks, and he's dropped key players that have let him down. Yeah, he didn't drop all of them with Newcastle, but I would point out in saying that when Rashford didn't play today, there's been 3 games this season that I've said when he's not played as an attacking output, it's more fluid. And 3 games, arguably, we should have won. Crystal Palace when we beat them in the cup, Copenhagen away, and tonight.
Tom, just stop you there. Are you hearing a lot of noise?
Yeah, Nuruddin. If you can,
Dino,
if you
what's
can
going on?
hear us,
Hey, can you hear me?
yeah, we can
yeah,
hear you. But
very
you're
well
getting
actually.
Background
Yeah, I can hear me
feedback.
clearly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you and the
yeah.
wind.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Hello?
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as before. But...
Right, boys, I'm walking, man. I can't get an Uber. This is what happens when you can't cycle. But yeah, guys, seriously, I want to hear from both of you. How did we play? Do you think that Chelsea were bad, or did the cowards turn up tonight?
I think it was a bit of both, if I'm being honest. I do. I think that Chelsea, their problem all season has been that they don't take their chances in games. They don't. And in games that they do, they don't end up winning them because the opposition team has more firepower than them or is more solid defensively, collectively. But from us, as a whole team, you could have picked 5, 6 players for man of the match tonight, and we probably wouldn't have argued. McTominay would have been on the list. Maguire would have been. Amrabat would have been there. There's 3 players already. Garnacho had a shout for it. Probably Anthony as well. There's your 5. All from a consistent perspective had a very good game collectively as a team. And that brushing of the arms that we saw with some of the players at Newcastle went away. But the one thing that I liked with the players was that as soon as they went 1-1, they didn't just ditch the game plan like we've seen most of the time this season. You go a couple of goals up and then you just drop the plan completely. And it's almost as if you revert back to type and just try and play defensive. We didn't do that. We went for it for the full 90 minutes. That's the one thing that I saw anyway. From the first half to the second half, yeah, I'm not going to lie, there was a little bit of a drop-off, especially in quality in the final third. But at the end of the day, the team hasn't been playing well as consistently as it has. And I'm probably in agreement with what a lot of people would have said is, I didn't care. I just want to win, guys. We need to start winning games consistently. And the only way that you're going to start getting good performances is when morale's up. And the way you get morale up is you start winning. Even if you nick it by a goal, it doesn't matter. Win the game at the end of the day. And Chelsea's a team who you're fighting for that 4th spot with. So collectively as a group, I personally thought anyway, it was much better. But Chelsea, as a team, they need a number 9. If I had to comment on it, they need a number 9 who can actually put the ball in the back of the net, because they've got pace merchants up front with no end product. That is Chelsea's biggest problem.
What do you think?
I will say for one thing with Chelsea, Cole Palmer will be a very good player for them.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable, and he's come in, at 21 years old for a reasonable amount of money. Gone to London, Chelsea of all places. He's from Wythenshawe, the young boy, and he's a shining little light in a lot of games. That was a really. I think we should do better with 3 defenders around him. Onana, I don't know, yay, nay. It looked like a bit of a P-roller, but he did his job to get that shot off, blagged it, and then popped it off. So fair play. What are people's thoughts, honestly now, no bullshit, on Harry Maguire? Because I am looking at Harry Maguire and I am seeing a player that is playing some of his best football since he arrived. Even in the Newcastle game, I said, and I think you said the same thing, 2 players that didn't deserve to be on that losing side.
Shaw
and Maguire. Those were the 2, 100%. Yeah. He's doing a lot of the things that, he's pressing up high on his defender, winning them duels. He's using his size. He's reading the game better. He's passing it a little bit quicker. At the moment in time, he has to play for me. And if this continues, what's to say that he doesn't have a future? What's people's take on that? First, do you agree that the guy's performing, and could he have a future here if he continues in this vein?
I think he could personally, but
what player are you talking about there, Bombay? What player are you talking about?
Here we go, Tom. Here we go.
No, Harry Maguire first half was a shitbag. Backing off, mate. Backing off. He kept backing off in the first half. He doesn't go to the ball, and him and Lindelof can't play together. It's absolutely clear to see. That's why Lindelof was hooked off, because that goal is his fault. He lets that City reject kid have the ball and make the angle for the shot to the far corner. Absolutely disgrace.
There's 3 defenders there that need to.
No, but Lindelof is the guy who goes to him.
And you could argue
Lindelof is the guy who attempts to try and show him take him out wide, but instead, Cole Palmer takes him out fucking wide. Come by and move for a minute, man. Stop chatting rubbish. Cole Palmer, whatever the fuck his name is, this is the City reject kid. He takes him for a walk like a dog, and then makes the angle to shoot to calmly place the ball in the far corner. Shocking.
No, but. No,
fucking shocking. Maguire had a better second half. First half, The whole stadium is holding their fucking breath.
Right, okay, I think
He's improving.
Second half,
we've asked,
he made 3 or 4. Listen, second half, he made 3 or 4 interceptions, and he started to move for the goal. It was his interception and pass that started that goal for the second McTominay goal. But in the first half,
yeah, he
shaky as
assisted it.
fuck, running away from players. Where are you backing off to? Come to the fucking ball. Honestly, basics. And Scott McTominay tonight, other than put 2 goals in the net, his outfield play was absolutely fucking shocking. And you know what? I'll watch it again and I'll take photos for you. If you think I'm lying. He's on the ball tonight. Scott McTominay was woeful. Absolutely woeful. So let's not get overexcited and get too giddy here. Let's not get overexcited. Chelsea's, for me, was shit. But tonight, I did see a style of play. I saw United do a high line with Maguire and Lindelof, and then I saw everybody being 10 yards closer to each player. And then I saw everybody fighting for the ball. So the second half, they couldn't even get out. We look a lot better at Luke Shaw centre-back than Lindelof. Because Luke Shaw is attacking the ball, while Lindelof is fucking lackadaisical BS that he does. So, second half, we dominated that game. But they still had 2 good chances. Fernandez, whatever his name is, the Argentinian guy, and the other striker, the youngster that Chelsea have got, he hit the post. So they still made 2 good chances, even though we dominated all of that half, because we can't still defend. And tonight,
we can't score.
He's fucking lucky. Diego Dalot, first half, Modric goes through. He's playing him on side. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It's unbelievable, honestly. Diego Dalot, when you watch the game live, he's not scanning at all. He's way keeping everybody on side.
Let me ask you
It's
this
unbelievable.
question, let me ask you this definitive question. Is this a vast improvement in terms of performance? And is that probably the best performance of the season from Man United over an extended period of time in a game, not just 15 and 20 minutes?
Listen, I still have to make my mind up about it, because when I watch Chelsea against City, when I watch Chelsea against Liverpool, when I watch Chelsea against Spurs, they look good. They can't do the final pass. But in terms of Man United, tonight, we look like there was a patterns of play where we were playing one-touch football to get out of like tight situations, where players were all closer to each other. And then, other than the couple of counter-attacks they had in the second half, we thought we were more aggressive. So 100% tonight, Manchester United were more organised, more aggressive. We moved as a block, other than having massive gaps. In the first half, they played through us a little bit because Bruno is so fucking indisciplined. He jumps out of the space and they play the ball in between him. So if we played against a more clinical team, a clinical fucking team before I get run over, right? Clinical team, then I think we would have got bad. We could have been maybe 3-3 in that first half, but we didn't.
There's an element of risk that we're going to have to accept if we want to play in this type of football, where our boys are going to go high.
But what we need, listen,
and you've got a lot of pace in Sterling and Mudryk today, so I can understand the fear when they broke. That's a lot of pace there.
Listen, if we're going to play like this, we need better quality of physical, aggressive players all over that pitch. Because, yes, tonight, I did see a style of play, but still, on the 50-50 and positioning, we were still a bit bad. But in the second half, we totally dominated that, other than a couple of chances in the breakaway that they had.
Tom, come back, man. What the hell happened?
What do you think, Bombay? I want to hear what you think. Because, by the way, also, when you go to the game and when you watch it on TV with the replays and everything, the games look totally different. Just know that the game's totally different.
I think for me today is the best performance I've seen from Manchester United because it was we were there for over an extended period of time. Chelsea have got some problems, but they have had some really good results. They're just inconsistent. But if you look at the personnel that's there, it's a tidy team. Um, I thought today proper redemption. You know, everybody earned their graces. Everybody played well tonight, without exception. Um, I thought that's that football was front foot, was aggressive, was fast, was cohesive. There was some really, really sexy passages of play at times to get out of those tight situations, as you said. Um, and I think it's either for me. I'm looking at this. So today I'm
How
very happy.
sexy was it? How sexy was it? Did he take your clothes off? Was it that sexy? Did he go into bed with Man United?
Honestly, well, man, when you're starved of anything decent, and then you get a performance like that, you think, why can't you do this every week? Because it's either you go with Ten Hag's narrative that we're not allowed to play this football because we don't have the personnel, or he says to you, I'll give you the other option where I'm going to let everybody off the leash. We're going to do what we tried to do, and we might lose games. Fuck it, lose games.
Yeah,
Play that
exactly. I
football.
agree with that.
Play that
100%. I
football.
agree with that.
Do you understand what I mean? So tonight,
Yeah.
I have to accept, and I've always said this. Previous managers didn't believe in their defenders, and didn't have what they wanted exactly. So they played a cautious, conservative type of game.
Low
But
block, yeah.
yeah, low block. Now tonight, I have to, Harry Maguire, bro, is it's not his fault, but Mudryk and Sterling are rapid and they break well. And Caicedo, Enzo in the middle there, they can make things happen and they transition quickly. You saw how fast it happened tonight. So I do feel from a bit, but um, play like that. Play like that. Get the team used to taking them risks. Um, you know, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see.
100%. Listen, there's 130 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm absolutely freezing my nuts off in here, right? Literally, I'm absolutely freezing. And I'm holding the phone trying to do the show as I promised. I'm trying to stay with it. I tried to get an Uber. There's no chance. Massive traffic. I'd rather walk home. You know what I mean? I'll be home in 10 minutes. But Tom, I genuinely do think tonight we played more front foot football, and I thought that we got the reaction from the fans tonight. We played a bit of a hard line, squeezed the game, but still, why can't we do that? That's what we're asking from Eric Ten Hag. And then you hopefully in a transfer window you can bring better players that can play that, who've got a bit more legs and can play that. Because honestly, if Scott McTominay had any quality tonight, Manchester United could have scored 5 or 6. Because so many times he's on the ball and we overloading him on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and he doesn't get his head up and pass the fucking ball. He can't do it. It's like he's got 2 left foot. It's unbelievable. But get him in the box and he's lethal.
Yo, I just want to big up Aston Villa, mate. What the hell? I just seen it now. Yes,
Yeah,
Emre.
they beat City, yeah.
Yeah, good evening. Popped Pep Guardiola, mate. Love it.
We're only 3 points off City now for anybody who wants to know.
Yeah, man. Only 3 points off City, yeah.
It won't count for much, though, let's be honest.
Man, we're in the league all on our own, I tell you
No,
that.
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say, no. Don't go there, Mumbai. Don't go there, Mumbai.
Always let me finish, man. Believe me, it might sound like it's going to be terrible, but if you let me finish, you'll see I still have my head on my shoulders.
I was going to say.
So, Anthony tonight, redemption?
Absolutely.
I was really happy with what I seen tonight.
No chance. He's putting the amount of stinkers he's putting. You and Tom are so soft, I swear to God. He's putting so many stinkers. And some of his decision making again tonight, he was shocking.
Let me say this. Imagine Anthony has been in the dressing room, and we've been shafting him week after week after week, and then he plays like that today, and then you go in and say what you just said on here. It's not good. The young lad played well. So give him his props.
He did play well.
That's it. Give the guys
The
props. man.
games that he's come, to be fair to him, the games that he's come in and he's played, when he played Galatasaray, best ever game that he's had in the United shirt. Tonight, work rate, intensity, fair enough. In the position that he's in, he's against a natural centre half who's physically imposing on him and has the legs who can keep up with him. So I don't expect him to go and run at the player every single second. But the one thing that we have on that side with Anthony is commitment. He will come back and do defensive work. He will do the hard yards. And we don't have wingers who are either at that level of development to learn that in, say, Garnacho, where they need to do that every single time. But also, we don't need to know. We don't have the exact players who have that commitment anyway, who are supposed to be at that level in the likes of Marcus Rashford. So Anthony is like the safe haven. He's the next best. He's the next best thing on that side. But the one thing that Anthony gives you in comparison to the others is he'll hold the line. He'll give you the width that you need. And if he turns back and holds the ball up, it might destroy the attack. But in some cases, you need a player who's going to do that just so you can keep the possession of the ball. We've been debating this for weeks. Keep possession of the ball, and we're not good with the ball. Anthony tonight with the ball at his feet, especially from the width anyway, he gave a calmness on that side. And the one thing that I saw anyway, in particular with Anthony, was what we saw shades of with last season. When he has a natural right back that he's played a couple of games with, in Delo or Wan-Bissaka, he builds a good partnership on that side with a player. Whether it's Delo, whether it's Wan-Bissaka. But more so probably with Wan-Bissaka because they complement each other better from an attacking and defensive point of view. Delo tonight, I'll admit in saying it, I don't think he was amazing. He was okay. A lot of it was either players were good or they was okay. I can't fault hardly any player out there and said they was absolutely shite for the full 90 minutes because they weren't. As a team, they played and they stuck to the game plan. And even like I was saying before, guys, when they went 1-1, they still stuck to the game plan. But especially with Anthony in the last couple of games that he's come into, even the Newcastle when he come off the bench, he was the only player who got the goal, albeit he didn't count because it come off our own player. He showed a threat in the game. That's the one thing that we've always said with him. He doesn't show a threat enough and he doesn't want to run at people. Now he's wanting to do it, but the only thing that's missing is he's still not going to take the ball onto his right foot because he doesn't have a right foot. That's the only issue that he has right now. But like I'll agree with what you say, Nuruddin, in terms of we have to see it more consistently. And if we're not going to see it consistently, that's where the issue is going to come. But he needs to show what, and it's not just him, but a lot of the players that played tonight show the same level of commitment every single game. Level of work rate and commitment. If you lose the game, but you've put your absolute heart out there, that's fine. We can accept that as fans. But we will not accept players who don't do the hard yards or run for the team. Because at the end of the day, there was a point it got to 1-1. That stadium, and Nuruddin will probably be able to tell you when he gets back inside anyway, it went flat at that 1-1. It did. But the only thing that was the safe haven was you had players like Garnacho, like Anthony, who had that bit of fight in them, bit of desire, and thought, let's get this crowd up a bit. Let's entertain them. Let's get them on side. And when you do that, you have that momentum as a team. But you need to be consistent with it. That's the one thing I would say. But collectively, from the last couple of games, I think if you're going to say that, Nuruddin, that he was shy, I think it's very harsh. Very, very harsh.
I just personally think, right, even in the game, he can't be consistent in 10 minutes. But I will give him one, I'll be objective, and I'll give it to him tonight. He held the width really well. I thought him and Garnacho gave us some width. You know what I mean?
Balance.
And the fullbacks went up a little bit. So there was a bit more balance to us. But it's just on the ball for me, for 80 million, the level of quality on the ball, like some of the things that he's trying, the shots, I'm just like, P-rollers, pass backs into the keeper's arms. I'm just like, whack the ball. You're on the left foot, you're central. You can whack the ball in two different corners. Instead, you P-roll it back to the keeper. And then the other one, he's all off balance. And he shoots and he goes to row Z. I'm just like, what the hell? It's just, there's not enough consistency in his play. I thought Garnacho tonight, there was a bit of consistency, yes. He looked more threatening. He looks a bit more. And I thought the pass that he put in for McTominay for the winner, I thought that was a brilliant cross. Brilliantly measured cross. Put it right on his head. But yeah, tonight we were a bit more aggressive. We were a bit more tighter and closer together as a team, hunting in packs. But there was a couple of times, especially in that first half, where people was Bruno specifically. I remember 3 or 4 times where he's so eager to try to get the ball back, and he's so positionally disciplined. If he just stood still, the ball goes into that space, and he gets us going again on a transition, but he just jumps out of it. So I thought on the performance of the second half, I thought Amrabat totally dominated that midfield. I mean, I don't know what you guys think.
No,
Tom?
I'd agree with you with Amrabat. If go on, Maya.
No, you go ahead, man.
No, I
He
just
played
think with,
against. Listen, he was playing against 200 million plus worth of midfield tonight, and I thought second half he totally dominated it.
Yeah, the problem, like I say, with Chelsea is Caicedo and Enzo. They don't compare to each other. That's the issue with them two. You have to play one of them as a sitter, not the pair of them, because the other one, neither of them going forward, offer you a threat in the box. And it's not just from a physical aspect, but even technically. They're good players on the ball, but aside from having the ball at their feet, they don't know how to make the runs into the box. With Amrabat, he scans and he looks at the game. He doesn't necessarily have the legs, very similar to Casemiro. He doesn't have the legs to run rings around people. But Caicedo, and especially Enzo, they don't know the runs and the passing angles. They have the passing angles when they have the ball at their feet, but to get on the end of those passes themselves, they don't have the knowledge or know-how in the system that they're playing in right now to have an impact. So Amrabat, in that case, he just looks at it and thinks, right, well, these two ain't really going to make much runs into the box, so they're not going to be a threat. I can just utilise myself in a better position, and I'll just stay up a bit higher. I don't have to worry about them running at me. And that's what he did. And then whenever we got the ball in transition, if we kept hold of possession, Amrabat just stuck his foot on the ball. Stick your foot on the ball and then drive us forward. And for most of the time, that's what we did. Drove it forward, play it out to a wide player, Shaw or whoever who was on the width, and to the Garnacho, and they ran the ball 30, 40 yards up the field on the wing. And then we're off. But the problem with us is, like we were saying before, we need to see a consistent balance of what we're doing. If this is the way that he wants to play eventually, but consistently for a full 90 minutes, we can accept that right now we're not going to be able to do that for 100% for a full 90 minutes because he doesn't have a full squad of his players. But he needs to buy himself the time to build that squad. And if he's not going to play this way, even in the short term, for 60 minutes, in that first half, we would have blitzed Chelsea if we properly put our shooting boots on. So at the end of the day, the chances are there in games for us. We just don't take enough of them to then win a game. But like what you were saying before, Bumbaye, if we're going to play this way, you're going to be susceptible to having goals go against you. You will have games where it's 4-4, 3-4, or it should look like that in a game, end to end. But the problem is, if you want it to be like that, that's how you play the brilliant football. You have to play like that. No team is perfect. Even Manchester City tonight, they might control the game and put the foot on the ball and have brilliant technical players. But if you don't have clinical goal scorers, what does it matter for? Nothing at the end of the day. And even Manchester City get counter-attacked on and blown up on like Aston Villa did them tonight. And with Manchester United, it should be no different. But regardless of the opposition, turn up. That's the minimum with these players. Turn up.
Yeah,
Go on,
I think
you've
hit it on the head. I think Amrabat to me is an unknown quality. I found him a little bit sluggish and a little bit of a two-dimensional player. But as Madison is saying in the comments, I'm getting to know him, and slowly, he's hopefully this is a sign of things to come. Why? I've got one consideration and one hope. The consideration is it a possibility that Eric Ten Hag set up this way based on the opposition this evening, and this is not a sign of things to come? So that is one consideration. But my hope is that This isn't a one-off. We can go and impose ourselves and play our football and give the opposition something to worry about constantly, and show this element, this level of enthusiasm, this level of endeavor in the game. That's what I'm hoping. I hope this is a prelude of things to come. I know Liverpool is coming up in 2 games' time. We've got Fulham next. Is it Fulham next, I think? I can't
No,
remember.
we played for it's Bournemouth next.
Bournemouth next. So I hope we get something like this at Bournemouth. That's a team that we can beat. And I hope we turn up. And yeah, today gives me, I feel good. I'm not going to mess around. When the boys do well, even if they've had 10 shit games, but I'm on here and we're telling them, you're shit. It's awful. This is a problem. But when they get it right, I'm somebody that always thinks I should come out and say, you know what? Well done. This is you did it right today, and I want to see this again.
Keep it consistent. Keep it going. That's what we need.
This is it. Keep it going. I don't want to not give them their props.
Okay, no, 100%. I understand that, Mumbai. We have to be objective, game by game. But genuinely, deep down in your heart, do you think this is going to be sustainable with Scott McTominay just doing what he's doing? Do you think that's going to be sustainable in the long term?
Not against technically astute teams like Manchester City, Liverpool. I don't think so.
I mean, do you know what? We're going to see what happens with these games. At the moment, the problem for United is, which is unacceptable, we're going into City and Liverpool and thinking, by how many are we going to get beat? We're Man United. We should be going in this thinking, let's give as good as we get. But we go in here dreading a terrible scoreline. This in itself is, you can say, a contradiction in terms, considering the club that the stature of the club we are and what we want to be. So this is a big problem. But I think Scott McTominay is a player that I've always liked. He's got some deficiencies, but he seems to thrive when you say to him, look, Scott, today I don't want your game to be all about scanning, positional sense. I want you to, stretch your legs a little bit, carry that ball a little bit, do the late run into the box. And Scott is capable of scoring goals. People should know he used to be a striker in the youth team, Scott McTominay. He can finish. We've seen it a few seasons now. And I personally thought his performance was all right. He did
on the
play
ball.
forward.
Be honest and be objective. On the ball, was Scott McTominay good tonight on the ball?
No.
I thought in moments he was. I thought he played forward. I thought he got his head up, put Bruno through when he was on the edge of the 18-yard box. There was some good things about him tonight, but I think maybe Scott
How many times did he lose the ball? How many times did he get caught on the ball because he's looking down on the ball?
He did get caught on the ball. But tonight, man, it's not a night for me to be ginning him out. He's won that game for us.
It's about ginning him out. It's being objective. It's about being fucking objective, Mumbai. On the ball, it was absolutely woeful. If you want to be honest, majority of one pass or 2 passes he got right. The rest of it in a 95-minute game is fucking horrendous and it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. Specifically, when all he has to do is get his head up and pass the fucking ball out wide. Not even physical passes. I'm not asking him to play fucking Ronaldinho through balls. I'm not. I'm asking him just to get his fucking head up and pass the ball.
He did a little bit of that tonight. He did get his head up. He did play forward. He did carry it. He was industrious in his performance, I thought, tonight. It wasn't a bad one. He's got deficiencies, but I like him. I want him to be part of the squad.
You know what, Mumbai, I love and respect you, but I genuinely do think you're the kind of fan that gets blinded by goals. You get blinded because somebody scored 2 goals. You think, they were playing good. I didn't see all the things you're talking about. All the things about him carrying the ball. There was a moment, right, in the second half where we needed that to make it 3-1. He's got the ball on the right-hand side, and he does the first bit right. He drives, and he can't control the ball. And the ball is running away 7-8 yards. And he goes out for a goal kick, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, there was too many of those moments. I'm sorry.
Look, I think a lot of the players tonight had those moments. Garnacho, as good as he was, he had quite a few of those moments, and he has them often in games. And that's because of youth and inexperience. I'll put it down to that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But a lot of the better players, the ones on the bigger wages, not academy players, the ones with the big stature, with the big reps, they do a lot of what you're accusing Scott of in games. They see the lion's share of the ball in games. So everybody's guilty of that. But I think with Scott, he is a very useful guy to have around the squad. One thing that you won't get with Scott, which is worth mentioning considering Man United roster and the
Listen,
problems
what's Scott
with a lot of
McTominay's
players,
excuse?
is that he's he's
He's
low
got too less
maintenance.
feet. He can't fucking play football, especially transitional football, because he can't sort his feet out. He's 27 years old. He's like a fucking child.
No, bro. I think Scott, for me, is a guy who needs to be playing as an out and out eight. This part of a two sitters, he's limited there, and we see it. He can't take the ball from the defense. You can't expect him to turn and do Kobe Mainu does, or what you'd like a Frankie De Jong to do. It's putting a guy, setting him up to fail. Scott McTominay's qualities are he's energetic, he's aggressive, he's a workhorse, he's all right in a tackle, he's good in the air, and he can finish. So let him do what he did tonight. Let him off that leash and don't put it on him to get that ball, create play, move us forward. Scott is good with the ball at his feet. He drives, he breaks lines, he can do that. But I don't think Scott is the guy that's going to start dictating play and you tell him, sit here, you and Kobe Mainu, take the ball off defense,
Lie to
relieve
you.
the pressure. I don't think so.
Give me the right to reply. You said it's his footing. No, he doesn't. At Newcastle, he was a fucking ghost. Majority of games, he's a ghost. Let me finish. He's a ghost. Majority of the games where Manchester United get dominated, he's hiding. But you get the ball in the box with a couple of deflections, and then he'll fucking finish. So that I can't take away from him because that's the facts. But the facts are, he doesn't run with the ball. He's got no skill to carry the ball. He can't look up and pass a simple fucking 10 yards.
He can carry.
No.
Honestly, he can.
Tonight, he was fucking carrying fucking sandbags. That's what he was carrying. He was carrying fuck all tonight, right? And so many times we had so many overloads, and all he had to do is pass it one way. That's it, 10 yards. And Manchester United are away overloaded. And for me, players who can't do that, they have to get the fuck out of the pit. Now, Scott McTominay, for me, is a guy you bring on when you're looking for a goal in the last 10, 15 minutes to cause a bit of havoc inside the box. That's all he is. Marouane Fellaini, but actually Fellaini was a better goal scorer than Scott McTominay. Fellaini actually scored some importantly big goals for Manchester United. And he was a threat in the air majority of the time. And he was a threat actually bringing the ball down with his chest. Scott McTominay, honestly, it's unsustainable. We can get giddy tonight. We can get a bit hyper. We can think, oh, this and that. But I genuinely don't think, unless we play for the rest of the season as a fucking team, like we did tonight, risky football, high line football, then we're going to be struggling because this is unsustainable.
I think you've hit the nail on the head for me with your comment that just said, if we play as a team. I think when any team play as a team and everybody's at it, everybody will shine a little bit more. But if you've got, like against Newcastle, 4, 5, 6 passengers, it doesn't matter how good you are trying to be individually. It's a team game at the end of the day. A very basic example of that is when Rashford or Garnacho, for example, don't have a Luke Shaw to overlap. There was a lot of good overlapping from Luke Shaw tonight. Garnacho didn't use him as much as he could have. He opted to use him as a decoy instead. But it's a team game. If United have to play well collectively, the system has to be better. The cohesion has to be better. And I think you'll start to see better from everybody. Tonight is a red herring really for United. I mean, Tom was saying, we've won games, but we're scraping over the line with these games. We're not leaving the pitch thinking we absolutely bust it. We deserve to bust Burnley, Sheffield United. I can't even remember Luton. We're not doing that. So what we're doing is we're scraping. What we need to start doing is, I'd rather leave the pitch thinking, you know what? We should have absolutely took 3 points easy tonight. We're just unlucky. When I can start saying that, I think I'll be happy. This is at Man United, man. You need to give us football and you need to get results. But right now we're scraping results against the lower half of the table, and the performances are awful. The performances are awful. So you take tonight and you think, you know what? Let's do more of this. Turn up from the first minute, apply yourselves, play for each other, man, play for the badge. You know, all that stuff that people think is out of date and belongs in Sunday League 1990s talk. But this is the basics of football. This is what all the pundits have been saying after Newcastle. Newcastle turned up, bro, and they put a real big shift in. They won every duel, every tackle. They were up for it. They played as a team. If you were to do a combined Newcastle United 11 from all the players, the injured ones, whatever, you'd probably get half and half. It's not like they've got a well better team, individual personnel, but they're deployed as a really well oiled machine, a really good team. And I think if Man United can find that, there are really good players in there. You know, look, tonight you've got no Casemiro, you've got no Ericsson, you've got no Mason Mount, you've got no Martinez, Sancho's frozen out, Varane's on the bench. There's a lot of talent there, there's a lot of good players there. Uh, you know, but we're just not finding
Well,
something that you can
tonight, I didn't see
deploy
Varane on
with.
the bench. Right, was he on the bench?
I'm not sure, bro, but my point to you is I think everybody will look a little bit better and not so lost when we look like we know what we're doing. Don't listen to me. Nobody listen to me. I don't know what I'm on about. Listen to Ian Wright. Listen to Match of the Day every week with Danny Murphy and Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker and Micah Richards and Gary Neville. You've seen the Gary Neville one recently. He says nobody knows what Manchester United are actually here to do. What's the plan? This is the frustrating thing about United. Then you get a performance like tonight against Chelsea and you think, shit, man, this would be nice to have every week or every other week, man. At least give us a performance like that. You know, let's leave the pitch thinking, shit, we deserved that 3 points today. We were well the better team. And today we deserve the win. But usually we're not doing that. And that's the killer thing about it. And I've always said we have good players. We do have good players. These are not idiots. There is some good talent in there. It's a decent squad. It's not a Champions League winning squad. It's not a Premier League winning squad. But I don't think we're getting the most out of this team. And I feel it's because there is a lack of vision. What do we want to do? What is it we're trying to do? I mean, look, you've seen tonight. You've seen tonight's performance. It's a totally different team to the Newcastle one in terms of the levels, the energy, the speed of play, how the team moved cohesively in moments. It was brilliant, really good. So it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma. But well done to Eric Ten Hag this evening. I tip my hat to you. Well done to all everybody that featured for us tonight. You know, a well-earned 3 points, man. And I hope we can just bounce off this and keep moving forward with it. Um, having said that, what else have we not discussed? Where are we? Nearly 50 minutes in. Nuruddin's disappeared. Tom's disappeared. You know why?
Chelsea. What did you think of Chelsea tonight?
For me, I've watched Chelsea a few games. Chelsea are exactly what Manchester United have been in terms of they epitomise inconsistency. They have struggled to put the ball in the back of the net. Now Broha's back and Kunku's coming back. But you look at the team that they have, man, it is talent after talent after talent. Good players. But the problem with him is Pochettino, he's a good manager, but you're talking about trying to gel a whole new team together overnight. It's difficult. But sometimes you watch Chelsea play and you think, wow, they're looking good today. They are all right. Then you look at them and then they just fall apart. Because look, I don't think it's as easy as just getting a system in play. You have to get this group, make them a family. You know, you got 5, 6, 7 different languages, a lot of young players for big money coming from all over the world to the Premier League. It's a difficult situation, this, to find that nucleus, that balance where everybody's believing, right, we found our rhythm, we found our vision, we found what we want to do. We found our feet on the pitch, and now we're starting to build relationships on the pitch, off the pitch. You're building understandings on there, and that's going to take some time for Chelsea. But I think there's a lot of quality in there. Whether a manager can come in and make it all gel at a certain point is what we're waiting to see. But I felt tonight was a 50-50 game. You know, I didn't go into this thinking it's going to be easy or we're going to win it. I thought, well, you know, let's see if we turn up. The boys owe us a performance, and I think we definitely got it. You know, they should be proud of themselves. This isn't getting excited. This is you know, saying this is what I saw today. And man, I don't know. As a fan, I just love to see that. I enjoy seeing that when it's going right, when we're playing well, making chances. You know, everybody's at it. It's just a breath of fresh air, and that's because um, you know, we're not a team that does that often. So I can't take it for granted. And it does come as a surprise to the system because a lot of the weeks you're going into a game, you're thinking, what are we going to get today? You know, it's frustrating. But honestly, I I think it's a good day. It's a good day, and I hope we can show this type of football at Bournemouth. But I don't know. People are divided tonight. You know, some people are saying we didn't play well. I don't know how you quantify that. For me, playing well is looking at everything we've been doing all season, and then a red herring game like this pops up. What did I see today that makes me think that we played well? Well, speed of play, cohesion of play, effort, application, all the stuff that was missing in previous games. Yeah, you're going to concede chances. Of course, you're going to concede chances if you push a high line. That's just the way it is. But that to me is a good performance. Honestly, I enjoyed that game. I thought it was a good game. Skolzy.
Can you hear me? Big
Oh
up
yeah.
everybody. Big up everybody for persevering. Listen, there's 150 of you in here, and we haven't even got 100 likes. It's an absolute disgrace, people. I've just walked back from Old Trafford. I wanted to go to that game tonight to basically see the body language. And on that, let's mark them on the body language.
Are they
Let's
playing
mark
for
them
him?
on
Are they playing for
Yeah,
him?
yeah, they showed
Oh,
tonight. They
okay.
did show.
You got a
They
super
did
chat
show.
here from Ben, Big Ben.
Yeah, big up, Ben.
E.g. Ollie, Jose, LVG players.
Listen, just to get my breath back. Big up Ben with a super chat. Will always be Ten Hag in. Players let him down. AG, Ollie, Jose, LVG. Must prioritize a full clear out for these players. Don't want to see 5-3-2-4 from Conte, BS footy. F Lindelof, Rashid McTominay, Free Palestine. Yo, Ben is on it tonight. Big up Ben. Lots of love and light.
Yeah, lots
Big
of
up to
love to
everybody,
you,
man.
Ben.
Big up to every one of you here. Please, guys. The channel is shadow banned. The channel YouTube's on subscribers, right? So many people sending me saying that, oh, I subscribed to your a year ago. I subscribed, and now I'm almost like I can't even see your videos. So the least you can do is spread the word about this channel. We fight for humanity of everybody on here, specifically the genocide and what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in the Congo, what's happening in Sudan. We're against all of these human rights abuses. We see the humanity of everybody, and we say no. We say no to oppressive warmongering. What the military-industrial industry, military-industrial complex. We fight against that. We fight for humanity and for everybody to live a good life. That's what we stand for, people. And YouTube and the big tech companies do not like people who fight for human rights. So the least you can do is smash a like on the video, subscribe. Luani, I've just sent you the link, brother. If that's you, Luani, I've sent you the link. Check Twitter. I've sent you the link on there. Big up to you. Big up to Craig. Big up to all the regulars, man. Big up everybody. We were bad today, Nuruddin. It's just Chelsea were worse. Listen, I've sent you the link. Come on, jump on and let people know. I want to hear from your 2 pence. Listen, tonight, mainly, I said, win, lose, or draw. I want to see body language. That's what I said. I said it in the spaces today and yesterday. So, in that sense, yeah, they are playing for it. They are. There was an effort.
That's good.
They put the effort in. We played a high line. We played high-risk football at times in that first half. But we need better players to be able to execute that system that he wants to play. Because you need to have more than competent footballers. And some of our players are not competent. They're actually they make out to play that type of football. It's going to expose a lot of them. And it did expose a lot of them. But it is what it is. But big up to everybody. Love and like. Luani, check Twitter. I've sent you the link. Jump on if you can. How many likes have we got, Craig? Big up Craig. Big up Stephanie Griffin. Big up Mateus. Big up Ben. Nuruddin, I've dropped. Let me just see. It says Nuruddin dropped a follow on Twitter. Big up Ben. If you just tag me in a tweet, I'll send you the link. Just tag me in the tweet and I'll check it now and I'll send you the link. Big up Luani. Luani, how are you, bro?
Hey, good. How are you doing, Nuruddin?
I'm good. How's your partner? Is she letting you get on here tonight? Yeah. Is she
Yeah,
allowed
yeah,
it?
yeah. We made peace. She's okay. Thank you.
Loane,
Hey,
somebody
how are you?
asked me to send you his regards, bro. I don't know. Have you heard of McBellingham?
Mark Bellingham, yeah, I saw him today. Those two goals actually flattered his performance. But we'll give him that today. We'll let him have the goal. But in general, I think Nuruddin, you're right. This game is it kind of flatter us a little bit. Yes, we did work hard. That I have to give us that. We work hard, but we just don't have the quality in the final third. And Chelsea is just as bad as we are. I'll be honest with you. And McTominay in that midfield is not a long-term solution, man. We can play him as a striker if we want, but he is not a long-term solution. I'll be honest with you. And also Amrabat was our man of the match. That's fine. But the system of the lone six, I'll be honest, I don't think we could do a lone six in the Premier League. I don't think so. Because we have McTominay and Bruno that are vacating the midfield. If you notice today, Chelsea played through us. Like 3 times they played through us, they were right through on goal. I think Modric missed like two clear-cut chances. If they have a better striker up front, they will have punished us. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. So this is too much of a small sample size for me to take and be like, you know what, this is a bounce back game. They did not press us at all. They sit off us. So we did press them, and they were not able to play through us. Those are the things. But today, I'll be honest. The only thing I see is Amrabat was decent today. Was a decent outlet, and that's about it.
Do you think this football is sustainable?
No, it's
Nurul?
not, Nuruddin. It's not. I'll be honest with you, it's not. It's not. Because when you look at team that are leapfrogging us, like Newcastle actually press us. And you see how we find out. If we play a team like Villa, for example, and they have a lot of athletes on the field and they can press us, we might have a different proposition. But I'll be honest, for the first time, I know I'm Ten Hag out, but I kind of start sympathizing with him. Because when people say that we don't have quality players, now I can see that we don't have quality players. I don't know if he's us as fan, but it's almost like when our players put on the Manchester United jersey, it make them look better, or it make us rate them higher than they're supposed to be. So for me, it's not sustainable. No.
Yeah, big up Jarvis.
Hey,
Just
Jarvis.
joining us.
Big up.
How you doing, Jarvis? Jarvis, tactically, I thought tonight we started off with a high press. I thought we squeezed Chelsea, even though we got away with a couple of counter-attacks in the first half. Second half, I thought we were dominant, other than they had 2 occasions where they could have scored. But on the whole, I thought 28 shots for Manchester United tonight. And I think if we had somebody who can finish, and if some of those chances fell to someone like Rasmus Højlund, because we can't seem to set anything up for him. I just feel so bad for that kid. It's like he's playing this graveyard shift. What did you think of the game? I thought tactically, we went wide, we squeezed them, we got tighter. I thought Enzo Fernandez was not in the game tonight. I genuinely think he was not in the game tonight. And I thought second half, the best player on the pitch was Amrabat. How did you see it?
I think, Jarvis, tonight, the floor is yours. This is your night. Your boy did the shit. Amrabat kicked us. Let us have it, please. Go ahead. That smile on
Yeah.
his face is there already. Go for it.
First of all, I want to say big up to the chat. I see a lot of familiar people in the chat. I see Rebel Barkir, Madhouse, Sheikh Arian Matthias, Craig Warby, a lot of legends. So good to see you again, guys. And when it comes to the game, yeah, I think you're right, Nuruddin. In the beginning, I was a little bit worried because our two number eights, I would say Bruno and McTominay, was a little bit too wide, so it was a big gap. But now I think I understand why Ten Hag does it, because he wants to create triangles on both sides. He wants to create the triangle on the left side. You saw it in the second half, especially with Reguilon and Garnacho and Bruno playing, and they set up the triangles and build up play on the wide. And on the other side with Dallo, Anthony, and McTominay. So, yeah, it works if the intensity is there, and we have a shielding DM as Amrabat was today. He actually did really good in holding up, because still it's a huge gap in the center of the pitch. Chelsea had a couple of times when they drove the ball through our midfield, but we were very good defensively, also going back. I would give a big up today to especially Garnacho and Anthony because of their defensive job. What you see, Højlund, okay, he had one shot on goal. He's not very effective. He doesn't create a lot of chances for himself, and we don't provide him a lot of opportunities to score. But this is how we play. We play man-to-man press, except for Højlund. He's a big man. He's massive. He's really fast. He got pace. And when Chelsea try to build up from the back, they try to pass the ball from one center back to the other and to the goalkeeper. But Højlund is there. He's dressing them. So when they pass the ball forward, they usually pass to the open fullback. But there's the key: Garnacho and Anthony. They're right away pressing the fullback when they got the high ball from the goalkeeper. So we recover the ball up high all the time. And that's what I like, because one of the key elements, because when, for example, Rashford don't play, he just jogs after the fullback. You could see it against Newcastle, Trippier and players like that. They receive the ball, take it down, and establish a build-up. But now we did differently. So the frequency, how we press, the intensity of the game. So I will say our front trio in how they pressed was excellent. They were really good. Do you agree, Nuruddin?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it felt like tonight we were 10, 15 or 10 yards closer, and even sometimes 5 yards closer, 15 to 10 to 5 yards closer to each of the players, to each opposing players. That's what we were doing. That's who we were tonight. But definitely what I loved about Anthony and Garnacho as well, even though sometimes on the ball the quality wasn't there, especially from Anthony, they kept the width. They kept the width. And, Højlund usually goes alone to press. We caught them out loads of times. If Garnacho, if Anthony, specifically Anthony, had a bit more quality tonight, he would have scored 2 goals just from smashing the ball in the top corner from 25 yards out, 30 yards out. How many times did Højlund rush Sanchez, their goalkeeper, into making an error? How many times did we do that to their centre halves? I'm so happy we didn't buy that guy, Disasi guy. What a disaster. Absolute disaster. He's another, honestly. Can you imagine playing him and Maguire? Oh, my God. They're just the twins. Absolute
he's slow
twins.
as a snail.
Slow as an absolute. Turns like a double-decker bus. Oh, my God. Have I ever been right after watching some games from him? But, yeah. So, tonight, the aggression, the intensity, what I really like, what I was impressed with, the way we started the game. We started the game halfway line. And, it's risky to play that football with Lindelof and Maguire. But I thought, because what happened was that we didn't give the Chelsea a time to look up and to play through us. We got into their faces, and you have to do that, especially when you got 70,000 seat stadium. You got to use the energy of the crowd. And I thought, I've lost my voice. You can hear it. Because I was like, come on. like screaming my head off. I wish you could have a camera on me when I'm watching the game. But then I was like, Scott McTominay, honestly, I was trying to explain to them, Scott McTominay, other than the bits in the box, he was actually atrocious tonight. So many times he was on the ball where we had overload on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and all he has to do is make a 10-yard sideways pass, and then we could be off again. But yeah, in terms of effort, energy, intensity, aggression, I can't fault them. And like I said, in the second half, I thought Amrabat dominated the game. I thought, and Maguire, to be fair to him, second half coming to it. The first half, the worst thing I hate, me personally, the way I view football, I hate defenders who back off. And in that first half, a couple of times, him and Lindelof were backing off, and I'm like, where are you going? One of you attack the ball, one of you back off. You can't both back off. And you actually saw it. It culminated in the goal because they both dropped off inside our box on top of the goalkeeper, and that Palmer kid carried the ball. And you know what he's going to do? He's left-footed. He's going to work the angle to work it to the far post, and Lindelof let him do it. He let him do it. So,
he gave him too much space.
You
pressed too passively in his press. Too much space.
You've got to get against him. You've got to use your body physicality. He's a young kid. You've got to use your body weight. Lean against him. Don't grab him. Get against him. Get tighter to him. Close the angle down. But he didn't do that. And I'm glad that he was taken off. Because second half, Luke Shaw, you saw the difference, Luani, Bombay, and Jarvis. Luke Shaw attacked the ball. There was a couple of times the ball was played behind him, but I like that because you attack the ball. You attack the ball. That's the reason why we bought Onana. He has to be effing doing sweeper keeping. He has to say and trust the defender and say, anything I'll wipe, I'll clean out. You get to the ball, be aggressive. And I thought Maguire did that in the second half. I thought he made 2 or 3 fantastic interceptions, and one of them was actually a really good interception for the move for the goal. And Garnacho, for once, put the ball in a perfect place. And McTominay headed it. But McTominay could have had 4 or 5 goals tonight. Some absolute citizens. Go ahead, Luani.
I have my question for the panel is that today we move our line up, right? Is it going to be a selective thing where we pick and choose the team against which we move our lineup? Or is this the next, maybe in 2 weeks, we play in Liverpool, given to how potent their attack is? Are we still going to play with a high line, or are we going to play deep? You know, is this something that Ten Hag did today because he didn't really respect Chelsea's attack, or is it the way we're going to play moving forward?
Well, I genuinely hope that's the way we play moving forward. I genuinely hope that. I don't know about you, Jarvis or Bumbaye, but honestly, give me this football because it's high risk, high reward. I'm telling you now, if United would have got beat tonight, but they would have dominated the game, they would have had, let me just tell you now the stats. Manchester United had 28 shots, 9 on target. Chelsea had 13, 3 on target. We had 12 corners to 4 of their corners. We committed the same level of fouls. We had less possession, actually. We gave them the ball at times. But to be fair, their possession was at the back. They kept the ball at the back a little bit. But we had possession where it mattered. We were in their box a lot more than they were in our box. You know what I mean? So, especially the second half. I thought the second half was for me personally, a domination. Because I only saw them have 2 chances. And still, it could have ended up in 2-2 because we can't finish. We can't eat our dinner. We can't finish. And I feel so sorry for Højlund because the chances fall to Scott McTominay and not him. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that one there, I think he was near Scott McTominay. I was like, go on, Højlund, get that in. But it was McTominay that stole, got in front and put it in, and I'm glad that he did. But we took 28 shots tonight because we were more aggressive. We won the ball up the pitch. I'm sure the stats will come out, Jarvis. I don't know if you can see some of the stats, Jarvis. Just have a look for me, please.
I did.
To me, it seemed like we won the ball up the pitch. And Luani, to answer your question, if we were to play like that, majority of the fans in the stadium would accept that because it's high risk, high reward.
Okay. But we were more aggressive, but we were not more clinical. So in 2 weeks, if we meet Liverpool, you reckon Maguire and Lindelof are going to be that high against Nunes, Gakpo, and
let me answer you, bro. I asked the same question at the beginning of the show, which was I see tonight some really good things. We take some risks. We close the pitch with some nice passages. Um, Lots of shots on targets, lots of openings. Good stuff. I saw some good things. Is that
Mm.
because we set up to play against Chelsea? Are we? Is Eric? This is the question. You see, we have to wait and see what happens next game and the game after that, and the game after that. Because are we setting up based on the opposition, or is this the blueprint we are gonna impose on everybody? I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see more of what I saw tonight. You can call that football. And the second thing is against Newcastle, they had 18 shots and we had two, and that was on 60 minutes. So I don't know what it was in the end. Against Everton, Everton had 24 shots against us, and we offered something pretty shit also against them. But tonight, you see that we are up for it. You know, we're forcing the issue. We're going, we're doing, we're whatever. That's good. Now, clinicality, bro, even if you create 500 chances, that just comes down to you guys have to take these chances and convert them into goals. That's the individual. But collectively, the team performance tonight is look, I'm feeding you this evening. Not like against Newcastle. You stay up there, fight against Shah and the other guy, get a flick on. We're not doing that today. Today it's be there. I want to find you. I'm going to feed you. If you want to eat, it's up to you. So clinicality is one thing. That comes down to the individual at the end of the day. But the openings are there. The possibilities were plentiful this evening if the quality is a bit better. But in other games, we've not even had the openings. We've had nothing. Graveyard shift for the strikers. So there's an element of the individual in that analysis there, and it also goes back to the style which we decided to play with tonight, or the idea. Let's go forward. Let's impose ourselves a little bit on Chelsea. But if it's gonna be like this going forward, I have no idea. Because like you said, maybe tonight Eric thought this is the best way for Chelsea. Maybe next week he might think Bournemouth, no, let's do what we did against Newcastle or Everton. I don't know. Jarvis, you might know more.
Yeah, if you can bring up my comment here, Nuruddin. After the game, Scott McTominay gave an interview to American channel Amazon, and he was indicated that Ten Hag has switched from heavy-based training sessions to lighter drills before the Chelsea match to help the team win. So you could actually see it today. They had more energy, the tenacity, the press play was much better. So maybe this is one of the key. Maybe Ten Hag has learned now that the heavy-based training sessions is not for this United team, and especially playing in the Premier League, because maybe it worked in the Eredivisie, but not in the Premier League, because you play a game every 3 or 4th game. But now maybe if we have a little bit lighter sessions, we will see more energy from this group of players. How do you think this affected the game, Nuruddin?
Honestly, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much to take from that. But to me, the heavy load should be safe for the games, not in training. The passing drills should be better in training. And tonight, I genuinely think, were Chelsea that bad, or were we really sharp in the pass? Because tonight, at times, we you know how we can't keep 5 passes and we lose the ball. Tonight, I thought we kept 6, 7. I was counting at times. It was like triangles. Like I said, the triangles we saw, and the third man runs. We saw a lot more composure on the ball. Now, is it because Chelsea weren't as intensively physical as Newcastle are, and we had a space to play? And that's the confusing part. That's the confusing part. Because they're going through a massive transition. They're just trying to get used to of how to play with Mauricio Pochettino. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So they don't have, that's why they're inconsistent as well. So, but in terms of 100%, if it means that they give more in a game, yeah, 100%. Because I'm not giving damn you giving it a lot in training and then being shattered for the game. I'm not about that. I'd rather have any football fan would like to see their team. We don't watch training every day. We watch all the matches. You know what I mean? So I want to see the intensity of play and the press. But to be fair, I thought Garnacho typified that tonight. Not everything came right for him, but he kept going, he kept going, he kept going. And honestly, he was absolutely show-shattered. And he got standing ovation, in the stadium. Because he's absolutely, you can see he's wet, he's got old green patches everywhere. You know what I mean? He put a shift in. And then Mr. Number 10 comes on and starts ball watching. There was a moment where Rashford and the CC went up for the ball. The CC wins the first header. The ball's in the air. Rashford just shadow pressing again. It's just, honestly. And you know what? And I got a lot of time for Marcus Rashford, but honestly, when I see that, I screamed at him. I said, Marcus, play like you mean it. Run around. Put effort in. Højlund does that. And I genuinely don't think, unless you see it live, you see the amount of work Højlund is putting in. Off the ball.
No, Højlund,
Like
it's
you said,
unquestionable.
his
The
job is
work
to
rate
occupy.
is there
Yeah.
always.
His job is to occupy the goalkeeper and the two centre halves, Jarvis. And he constantly does that. And for one player to do that constantly, every man is making like 15-yard sprints. It's not easy. It's changing directions. It's not easy. So it is what it is. But let me just get this quickly. Somebody said something here. He says, quick stat for the panel. Højlund touched the ball 19 times. Martial, Newcastle, 18 times. At some point, the sympathy has to stop. It's not going both ways. For me, the thing is that I just explained it to you, Sonny 95. It's the fact that Højlund literally sprints. He's constantly sprinting, like to close down. And tonight, he put Sanchez in a lot of trouble. Sanchez, I think I counted about 3 times. I don't know about you guys, where he played the ball to one of our players.
Look, the difference is Martial has been with Manchester United a long time. And if it was going to rain clouds with a form, that's me telling you, Halas, this is the Martial that you're going to get. Forget it. Højlund, man, is 21 years old. And the work that Højlund does, even when he's feeding on scraps, he brings others into play. He chests it into a good space, into the opposition. He brings the ball down. He's really strong. He's much better than Martial at holding people off. Much better. I saw that in his debut game. I was really impressed with his debut. A striker, man, yeah, I understand you want goals. Sometimes, man, Andy Cole didn't score for how long? We love him. We love Andy Cole. It will click. It will happen. And he's getting the chances. It's just not going for him. But the contribution to the game, the industry of his play, even when it's shite, and it has been for him a lot of time. We use words like graveyard shifter. He does it. He's a willing runner. He occupies defenders properly. There's a big difference between him and Anthony Martial. Age, time spent, what he's come into, and what he's offering for me at the moment is good. And the goals will come.
I think we should kind of stop making the comparison between Haaland and Martial, because one is our starter and one is our second striker, right? So the manager get to manage this situation, and let's leave the drama to him. As it stands, Haaland start and Martial is on the bench, and that's the way it is. As for the game itself, to be honest, I couldn't be bothered about the pressing that we do, or the hard work, or the pressing starts, because what I want to see, what I was looking to see, is how do we do in possession. And Chelsea, by not pressing us today, did not give me that sample size that I want to see, because with other team pressing us, maybe we will be wobbling, or we don't know how we're gonna find. So today, I'll just take it for why it is. It's a game in isolation. We won it, we got the result, and we move on to the next. That's about it.
Yeah. Other things I saw today when it comes to the game, I think also when we played up from our back, the Amrabat, how he took the role, he dropped down between the center backs and was an option for Onana. So we constantly played out from the back with the ball on the ground, not like we did in the Newcastle game, hoofing it up because Onana didn't have any options. So that's one of the things, and how I will applaud the Amrabat. He was good, and he's massive. He's strong. He knows how to protect the ball. He could drop down, turn with the ball, and then drive it forward. So I think Amrabat also today had a great game in that part of the game. Not only shielding the center backs, but he was also contributing very much when it comes to building up the play. I don't know if you guys saw the same thing as I did, but it gives me confidence going forward that maybe this is the Amrabat that we all talked about in the summer, like gassing him up. Maybe we weren't all getting giddy. Maybe this is the player that we have, and he just needed some time to get into shape. He didn't have any preseason. He basically went on strike for Fiorentina. He came in with a back injury. He played a couple of games playing inverted left back, but maybe now we will see a different Amrabat, and I think it's promising for the rest of December if we can have him as this type of player going forward.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're a big fan of him. I'm
Yeah.
learning about him, and to me, at the beginning, he's looked a little bit two-dimensional. But
Mm.
I am starting to see it now. Today was a really good showing from him. Really good.
Yeah, he had one misplaced pass that was
Got
horrible. It
Bayern
could
here.
have cost us a goal, but besides from that, I think he was flawless today. For me, he was the man of the match. Um, have you guys talked about the man of the match, Nordin?
Amrabat for
Lo-
me, second half
a
performance.
lot of people were
I
talking
absolutely
Amrabat
love.
today.
Yeah,
I
Amrabat, definitely. You know.
yeah, yeah,
Will I
Amrabat for me.
be? Am I allowed back on this channel if I go for McBellingham?
Not Anthony.
Yeah, it's your opinion. It's your opinion, 100%.
Bumbaye, can you explain to what you see in McTominay? Is it the goals, or because as an overall player, I
Yeah.
still he lacks a lot. You know.
So with Scott, I have been on this channel for a few years, and I'm one of those that thinks he's a good player. He's not a great player, but I like to keep him around. When I look at Scott McTominay, um, what I'd say first is I think when the team, Luani, starts to play as a team and everybody's pulling their weight without passengers, I think everybody will improve generally as individuals. If the collective share the vision and they play, and we start to look like a team that has a style, an idea that I can't see many weeks, I think we'll see better individual performances. Scott McTominay for me, obviously, I'm talking about all of Scott McTominay, what I've been watching for the years. I see a player that is struggling sometimes to play as a holding defensive midfielder as part of a two because he can't take the ball from defense and dictate that game. I don't think he's as bad as people make out. I think Scott can take the ball in tight positions sometimes and he can look after the ball. I think people overcook that too much for me. I think he can play forward. I think he's a good ball carrier. He can break lines if he's given the license and he has people protecting him behind, and he can score goals. And bro, he's not one of these players. He can be aggressive. You know, I watched him against PSG. I watched him against City. He held his own against much better midfielders. Um, but sometimes, bro, everybody goes off form. You know, like Bruno came, I fell in love with him, but Bruno's form goes up and down. Rashford last year, Nobody could talk to me about Rashford. Now all of a sudden I'm thinking, what's happening? This seems to be the story of a lot of the players. Even Casemiro, last season he was the general. This year I'm thinking, geez, is it over for him? What's happened? Even Martinez last year, remember how good he was? This year looked all over the place before he got injured, all over the place.
Hmm.
So McTominay for me is also a low maintenance player. You're never gonna hear any bullshit from him. 80,000 a week, academy graduate, living the dream. I think he's a good guy to keep around in the squad, and he's versatile. Is he a world class player? No. You're talking maybe 7 out of 10, if a man of the match performance, an 8. But I like him. I think he does have things to offer to this team.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what I see with Scott. You don't always see it. I have to put my hands up and say sometimes the guy against Newcastle, he was one of the worst. I think Rashford, Garnacho, him, all of them, most of them. He especially stood out. He was lost, man.
Hmm.
Awful, dreadful. So, but
But Boumbaye,
But Boombaye,
mm,
are we not confusing
mm.
talent here for form, genuine talent limitation for form?
Well, I'll give you an analogy. I've seen what. Why do I back Marcus Rashford and Bruno, in spite of the fact that they're playing poorly? I've seen what they're able to do previously, but the fact that they're not doing it now, it warrants somebody to say, hey, maybe we need to pull them out of the firing line. Give Marcus a break. Let's put Garnacho in. Let's do that. Fine. So I think you look at a player and you think, wow, okay, this is his capability, but he's not giving us that at the moment. Now, if I looked at a player and thought this guy is just shit, then it's irrespective of form. That's his level. But Scott, man, I think he's had some really good seasons with Man United. Some really good seasons, and he's been an important part of some really good moments for this team with previous managers. In previous seasons with Ole, with Jose. Um, and now at the moment, bro, the players are what they are, you know.
Mm.
So I think it's a fair question, but for me, you look at the play, yeah, he's capable, but I'm not getting anything at the moment from him. What's wrong with him? And this is like Marcus Rashford now. What is happening? I think Marcus, for example, just to answer the question, is a on his day he's hard to play against, man. I've seen him burn people. He was
Okay.
winning it on his one man show last season sometimes. And even in previous seasons, he went through brilliant moments, unplayable. Now I'm looking at him, I'm thinking his head's gone again. Something's wrong.
Listen, at this moment in time, he's a passenger, and I'm glad
So,
that tonight in the game
man,
we didn't need to
something has to
carry
be
him.
wrong. Something has to
Listen,
be wrong off the pitch, bro.
now
Something
he
has
lost
to
his
be wrong.
cousin. Obviously, he lost his one of
Uh,
his cousins. Apparently, he was close to a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, he
But
looks
he can't
lost, man.
explain that all of the time. There's people losing people all the time. But grief is different. To be fair, it hits people differently. So we sympathise with him on that. Big up to Jamie Wayne says Locke has tweeted licking the club's ass, try to get back, get out, get to get on ban.
No,
Bombaye, you gave
yeah,
you
man.
gave me three names, right? You say Bruno, Rashford, and McTominay, and they
Yeah,
all have that one thing in common. The way I differentiate between the form and the talent is that when the player is talented, when they on form is really high, their output is really high. When they are off form, they know that low. But when the player is not have talent limitation, when he's on form, he might give us an 8, but when he's off form, he's really a disaster. And you can
yeah,
associate that with Bruno McTominay and Rashford. You see,
sure. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I can conciliate
That
both.
I accept from you. Some players off form, for example, and this is the discussion we have about, okay, I'm not playing good. Every touch is shit. Go back to basics. If you're having a bad form, it doesn't mean you don't try. Doesn't mean you're not putting a shift in, playing for yourself, for the fans, for the shirt. 100%. So they do have that in common, those three. I can't say no. And Scott McTominay, man, is not a world-class player, you know, but he's not a guy I'm desperate to get rid of. I think he's useful. You can get, if Mason Mount
I
does whatever
genuinely
he's
do think,
supposed
I'm not
to,
going to
yeah.
lie to you, I believe if Manchester United want to go forward and go places, they need to get a better player than Scott McTominay to be a bench player. I think he's third-rate bench player, but that's just me personally. Because when you
Fine.
can't pass the ball, you can't trap the ball, you can't pass it. To me, you're just looking on deflections. It's unsustainable. But I have to give the team tonight. I want to sum up now and just say the team tonight. Eric Ten Hag was under a lot of pressure, a lot of scrutiny tonight, and at least the performance-wise, they turned up. We did see the patterns of play tonight. The things that we've been asking for, we did see the triangles. We did see the third player runs tonight. We did see that. And in another game, we could have been 3 or 4 up. It could have been 4-2. If the first half was 4-2, you would have been like, okay, fair play. You know what I mean?
Are you going to rate the players?
No need to rate the players. After the shit they put in on Newcastle, no. This is the difference between me and you, Baba. You get too goody too easy. You get easily pleased, and you start getting high of just one little performance.
Man, as a United
Stop
fan,
it. Chelsea
you have to take your moments when you get them, because they come around very seldom, my friend. Very seldom.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
With that point, we definitely agree. We all agree. Big up, man. UFC Realist TV has just popped in to say big up, best team performance. Man of the match, Golsey the cat. Good night, 7 a.m. Big up. Oh, wow.
Go to bed, mate.
Well, listen, you can go to the beach and sleep in the sun all day. So, hey, we're not feeling sorry for you there, pal. It's bloody freezing here. Honestly, it's freezing. Big up.
How do you think it's here? minus 10, minus 15 degrees. It's freezing here.
Our next game is against Bournemouth, right? And then after that, we have Liverpool.
Yeah.
The problem I have is that today we play a high line, right? Half of the team in the Premier League have very athletic and pacey strikers. Okay, we shouldn't confuse the front line of Chelsea. They have trickery with Raheem and Modric, but they don't have pace up front.
This is where we disagree. Luwani, this is where we disagree. Tonight, Chelsea's front three was Sterling, was Modric, probably the fastest player in the Premier League, and their striker. They're all lightningly fast. What we did is we cut out the supply to them. They got through once or twice, remember?
Yeah.
They got through once or twice. Yeah. Jackson. All three of them are quick. But the midfield tonight, we swamped the midfield. They couldn't get their head up to find them. And that's what we did. Now, if we play against Bournemouth, they've got 2 good wingers out wide. They've got this Liverpool reject up front, right? They're all quick. But if we let their midfielders look up and play it, we're going to get slaughtered. What we can't do is we need to press the midfield and press and squeeze the play so that we can win the ball and turn over there when they try to play that pass. And that's what saved us tonight. A couple of times they got through. Don't get it twisted. It's not going to be perfect. But we got away with it because they're not consistent, Chelsea. They're not consistent. Modric was away there. And all he had to do is just poke it into the corner, and he missed by a couple of yards. So, and then the other time Sterling went through, remember, and then he stopped.
That's what I was about to say. Chelsea, Raheem went through once, but Dalot was able to recover. So I think if it's Ole Watkins or Mo Salah, it's a different story. You know, Sterling is tricky, but he doesn't have that pace. Same thing with Modric. They're lightning tricky, you know, but they don't have the pace to get away from their players. And when you play in a league with strikers like Mo Salah and, you know, Solanke, even the lower level team have pacey strikers, you know. So that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a good word to worry. Quickly, Jarvis, last shout. I'm absolutely fatigued, guys.
Tactic show. I have something a little bit prepared. So if you just can share my screen, I will give Craig my tactic board. Should we just bring it up? Yeah. This is how I saw the game today, because this is Chelsea in white. They should have been blue, but yeah, they were playing in between their center backs, and this is the biggest job. Højlund, how he pressed, he made it very difficult for them, and you could see here Anthony and Garnacho, they are cutting the passing lane from the center back to the fullback. So every time when Højlund pressed, they had to play it up in the air and down, and a pass like that takes more time, and it gives the wingers time to track back and put in the pressure, and then we can swamp them.
But
This
Jarvis,
is what we were doing.
But Jarvis, we didn't do that tonight. Actually, we did the opposite. So yeah, put Rasmus where he was there, right?
Yeah.
What then we did with the winger, we got the winger close, and then actually, genuinely, our left backs came and pressed their right backs, right? That's what we
like
did.
this.
And then what happened was that we bring everybody to the halfway line. Bring everybody to the halfway line. Our defenders to the halfway line. No, our defenders. So push everybody up, right? So we press them.
Okay.
Yeah, we press them. So put so that's what we did. So their strikers were all here. So then Luke Shaw came across. So we squeezed the play, and that's what we did in a lot of periods in that game. If any of you watched the game again, that's what we did. We literally went man for man and literally squeezed the play. So Garnacho, Højlund, and Anthony went, and Bruno also sometimes joined when he wasn't doing the headless one. And then what we did was we literally, you know, their out ball, where it was Reece James or it was who played at that, I forgot the left-footed player, their left back. When he played out there. So Diego Dalot pressed him, and then Anthony pressed one more, so we squeezed the play. We didn't hold back. It wasn't Garnacho wasn't just doing it. We didn't hold back. So that to me was super impressive tonight. It's high risk, high reward. What we did not do in the middle, if you go to the middle where the number 8 is and the 18 is, in the middle midfield, we didn't. When they got the ball out, when their defenders got the ball to Casado or to Hernandez, Enzo, we didn't let them get their head up and play the guys who were running through. The only person who came through sometimes picked up the ball and then turned. A couple of times Sterling did that, and the other times it was Palmer that did that. Do you know? And that was a transition. But on the whole, I thought we risked it and we kept control of them, specifically in the second half, especially when Reguilón came on. Reguilón played us almost as a left winger in the second half because he was right up against, Reece James. On that side.
I agree, Nuruddin. I agree. I think you're right, because what you're saying that the fullback was pressing up when the high pass came from the because it left a lot of space for the wingers, so they were actually a lot of the times free, but they couldn't get the ball to him. Sometimes when they got through, there was open space, but then we had the time to track back. And so I think you're right, Nuruddin. I think you are spot on with your assessment of the tactical game.
This tactical game you guys are saying here that happened this evening, I recollect seeing quite a bit of that last season, where the fullbacks were pushing high on them quickly. But this season, it's just not quite happening. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
And the biggest thing tonight as well, Jarvis and Luani and Bumbaye, we second half we could be more aggressive with Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw actually attacks the ball, while Lindelof and Maguire, to me, they can't play together. They cannot fucking play together. They can't. Each of their strengths and weaknesses, they both bring themselves, both of them down. Maguire played better in the second half without Lindelof. Facts, 100%. Because Luke Shaw was attacking the ball, was being more aggressive. So when you say, where Luke Shaw is here, and him and Maguire are there on the halfway line, let's say everybody pressed up and Reguilón pressed the fullback. What he did, the number 7, Luke Shaw will come wide. Luke Shaw will come wide and split like that. And then Amrabat, the number 4, will drop. Sometimes he would drop. Do you understand? There. That's what was happening as well sometimes. So at the end of the day, if we played against a team that's quite efficient, that can play through us, it could have been murder she wrote. But luckily, Chelsea were not tonight. And that's how we got to dominate the game and won. Yeah. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Big up Jarvis. Big up Luani. Big up to everybody. we will see you for Thursday, maybe tomorrow night or Friday night, maybe for the match for the match preview against Bournemouth. I
Bournemouth,
think
yeah.
they're playing
Norden,
really well at the moment.
can I ask one question?
Go ahead
We
quickly.
know our press today was good. How much was that was the credit to give to our press, or how much was it to see the Chelsea, to say maybe the Chelsea's goalkeeper was just atrocious at playing out of the back?
Yeah, he was. But you know what? Like I said to you, I said it from the start of when I was walking down from Old Trafford, I said that they're a young team, are getting used to the manager's new methods. He only been in 4 months. That 4 or 5 months is he been in that set, so they're getting used to him. But listen, Free Palestine, and smash a like on the video. The video shadow banned. Was shadow banned. The channel is getting people to unsubscribe because that's what YouTube is doing, kicking people out. So please make sure that you smash a like, let people know, share, subscribe, like, and it's the least you can do, because here we talk about the truth on people's humanity. Bournemouth won today as well to Palace, so the game ain't going really well.
They're doing well.
A friend of mine told me about. Listen, that friend of mine told me about their manager, said he's one of the best young, talented coaches from the Basque Country. So, you know what? They've done their homework to pluck him out of the air and to give him a job. So now the players are getting used to the way he wants to play. So it's going to be very interesting. They do give you chances, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But like we always say in it, F the Zionists, man. Free Palestine, stop the genocide, stop killing children, stop killing babies. Where's your humanity? Why are you being monsters? Why you try to justify the murder of over 20,000 people, 6,000 to 7,000 children? What are you doing? Everything Israel accuses of Palestinians of, it does it in real. But that's the thing about it, it's projection. Every time they accuse Palestinians of anything, they're just telling on themselves. That's what Israel is doing. And the world is standing by and shame on all those fucking so-called Arab fucking leaders. You bunch of absolute cowards. Win, lose, draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Zionists. Fuck. Zionists out as well. Zionism out. And everything else to do with industrial military complex. People that are making money off the deaths of women and children and civilians is shocking. But listen, let's go to it. Bowley 77, Luani. Make sure you're following at Marwan Luani on Twitter. Bumbaye, he's never on social media. You only find him on this channel. You never find him anywhere else. If you do, let me know and I'll grass him up. I'll grass him up to his parents.
the earth is
Free
big
Congo
enough
as
for
well.
all of us. And
Free Sudan,
if you cannot answer to your crime on earth, when you gone, you're gonna answer for those
You're gonna
crimes.
answer.
That's for those
Nice.
who are committing those crimes. So
That's
yeah.
Let's hope and pray. I hope they burn in hell. Peace, love, light, win, lose, draw, glazes out, banks out. Tonight, and for tonight only, we'll see. The cowards turned up and actually put a shift in. But let's hope, people. Love, light, everybody. Good night, and we'll catch you for the preview, maybe Friday versus Bournemouth. Good night.
Peace.
Peace.
Good night.
Peace.